This is Live for Love TV. Live for Love TV. Yes, I am.
One step more. One step more. One step more. Until you reach your goals. One step more. Save them soul. One step more. One step more. How good it is to reach the
Live for Love TV. This is Live for Love TV. Live for Love TV.
Welcome, 12th day, 4th month, 2021. Back here with Live for Love TV. Hope you're all doing well out there. Today, it's a Star Wars day. I know, I hear you saying Star Wars. What's Star Wars? What's Star Wars got to do with anything? Well, anybody who's watched a Star Wars film, and especially the original film, I'm sure the others, I've never seen the rest, but Star Wars was made with a concept about the Force. Now, the Force is not really explained in the first film, as far as I know. I don't know about later on, but in the first film. But for those of you who don't know, it's an Eastern concept called the Tao. The Tao is what the Force is talking about. The Tao is that thing that came before all things, above all things, created all things, and all things come from the Tao. The Tao is something that's kind of unexplainable, but as I say, they call it the Force. The Tao explains life completely different than Western religion does. In the Tao, you have good and you have evil, and then you have the Tao. And if you see in Star Wars, good and evil are equally balanced, absolutely equally balanced. You can't really see one stronger than the other. But the point of the Tao is that if you empty yourself and allow the Force to take you, the Force will always come over and take the evil and put the evil in its place. But it will never conquer the evil. It will never destroy the evil, as in Western religion or even philosophy sometimes. Because evil and good in the concept of the Tao and Taoism is talked about as two forces that have to operate. One cannot be understood without the other. Just like you cannot have daylight without nighttime. You just can't have it. Because if you have daylight, then you don't know it's daylight. Because nighttime is what makes you know that it's daytime. Good is made good by evil. Sometimes you think about people and you say, why? Them people over there, so they're evil and they're wicked. But it's because they're evil and wicked that you know who's on the other side, who's good. So the Tao explains it perfectly. It's a wonderful concept. It's a philosophy. You can read it in the Tao Te Ching. As I said, I think lots of films have been made of it now. Recently, after Star Wars, I think you have Kung Fu Panda. You have some other things talking about the Tao. The great martial artist Bruce Lee built his concepts on the Tao, and he talks about being like water, and empty yourself and be like water. Water takes the shape of the thing that it goes into. That it appears to have no shape, but yet it has any shape that it takes hold of. That's again Taoism. That's what Tao talks about. And all Eastern martial arts talks about the Tao. The reason that the Tao is important because the Tao allows David to conquer Goliath, as in Tai Chi, the soft and the hard. The soft can overcome the hard. So when people come with hard thrust and hard force, you can use your soft force to counterbalance them. So Eastern meditation was always about being, martial arts and meditations about being humble, respectful, calm, and peaceful. But if something hard comes at you, you don't go back at it hard. You come back it with the other side of the Tao, which is the soft, and you can conquer it. So it's a complete different way of looking at life. Completely different way of looking at life. It doesn't have an end game as such. It accepts that so long as there's life, there will always be the left and the right, the high and the low, the male and the female, the dark and the light. That will always exist. It's easier for Western people to understand when they think about a plug. A plug always has a positive and a negative, and sometimes it's earthed, but the positive and negative are what gives it its power. You can't operate an electric system without it. It just can't be done, So this is how the Tao conceives life. It's a great concept, something I've listened to for years. Many people have taken into their understanding as time has gone on. And it deals with less conflict. It doesn't always, because when you're dealing with good and evil in the concept that we have in the West, everybody thinks they're good. The most evilest of man thinks he's doing the right thing and thinks that he's good, and he thinks you're evil. That's always the way it is. Even if you watch cowboy movies, they're doing exactly the same thing. The good man is killing, the bad man is killing. The only difference they used to do was so-called white hats that the cowboy would wear if he was good, and the black hat would be if he was bad, which is again ridiculous. But that was literally done because the people who were viewing it could never tell who was a good or a bad man any other way. Because if one man kills 6, another man kills 7, how do you know who's a good man? So the Tao Te Ching doesn't operate like that. It understands good and evil. It never tries to conquer evil. It always tries to overcome that evil when it needs to, but it doesn't try to completely destroy it, because it knows that if you destroy evil in any way, then those who are good will take up the place of evil in order to make that balance come back. So it's pointless. So that's a short convo on the Tao Te Ching and the Taoism, and something that I think is very important. I think people should read those books. They should listen to them. The Tao Te Ching as a book, the second most translated book ever on the planet behind the Bible. It's more translated than the Bhagavad Gita, which is a Hindu book, more translated than the Holy Quran, than the Buddhism books. It's been around for 500 years, 2,500 years, and maybe even longer, they say. It's an amazing book. It's a load of sayings and philosophy sayings, and it really does teach you. You can get meanings within meanings within meanings. And when you discuss with people who've also read it, they're going to give you meanings that you've never heard. And you can also share your meanings that they don't know. It's an unbelievable book, unbelievable concept. And those people who deal with Taoism believe that if you empty yourself, the universe will take over and you won't suffer. Some will say it's just a belief system, but all concepts are belief systems. So take a read of the Tao Te Ching, and maybe when you've read it, we can have a good conversation on it, because it's a book that I love. It's a concept I love, and I've been practicing it for many, many years. So that's Live for Love TV. See you again soon.
People, one step more, one step more, one step more, one step more until you reach your goal.